guys, it's Jenna. Welcome back to my channel today. Before we get started, I do want to quickly address one little mark above my lip. This is unfortunately I think it's a first-degree burn. For those of you that are nurses out there, I do have to keep it OTA so that it actually dries up, and covering it with concealer is just going to hinder that. So I do apologize because it sort of looks like an eyesore, and I hope it's not going to distract from the video. But I did get it when I was drinking some tea and it was way too hot and it happened to sear the skin right in that place. So woohoo, that sucks, but hoping it's going to heal fast. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about some new Eyes to Mesmerize Charlotte Tilbury eye products. The two shades are Pillow Talk as well as Walk of No Shame. These, according to Charlotte, are not re-releases. They are new shades to the collection of cream shadows. However, knowing Charlotte, because she does produce quite a few pinks and cranberries and basically varieties of pink, it's probably going to be pretty easy to get a shade that is similar to either of these, so keep that of note as well. You'll notice that the Pillow Talk one has the Pillow Talk collection outer packaging. That beautiful like pale pink with, you know, the gold accents is very much what the rest of the Pillow Talk collection looks like. Then we have the classic packaging with the Walk of No Shame shade. Standard outer packaging compared to the rest of the Eyes to Mesmerize line. Unfortunately, the only shade I have now is Oyster Pearl. Oyster Pearl is significantly different than the other two, so obviously this is not going to be a dupe or anywhere near close, but I'm thinking that shades Rose Gold will be similar to the Pillow Talk shade, potentially some other limited releases of pinks. They might be close to Pillow Talk, but they also might be different enough because that's really how Charlotte works. She has literally every degree of pink accounted for, which is awesome, but some people might think it's a bit redundant. Just depends how you think about it. The packaging of the product itself is the same compared to both shades. So we do have that nice frosted base. We have the kind of like deep purpley maroon lid on both of them with the rose gold accents. Pillow Talk is a 6-month shelf life, 7 milligrams of product. Walk of No Shame, same thing, 7 milligrams of product, 6-month shelf life. A friendly reminder with these is that they do last beyond the 6 months in my personal opinion, but you do need to keep these lids nice and tight. They will like dry out or at least change the integrity a little bit, and they'll become a bit stiffer over time if they're exposed to air. So for me, I like to keep them nice and tight in a cool place in one of my makeup drawers behind me, and that way it is keeping its best quality as long as possible. Let's talk about the shade Pillow Talk first, which I think is going to get the majority of the attention given that it's the famous Pillow Talk shade. Both of my eyes have Pillow Talk now on the lid because I am going to go meet a couple girlfriends for dinner tonight, but for review purposes and for the video, I applied both, one on each eye so you could see how they look, but I didn't want to go completely out into the world with two different eyes. So I changed it last minute. But according to Charlotte's website, Pillow Talk is described as an easy-to-use, long-lasting, pretty pink cream shadow with rose gold sparkle to light up your eyes. That is true. This does have a shimmer component to it. It's not super evident on the eye. You can see that it does have a bit of a presence where it brings some light to my lid, but it's not like a pop shade that has a ton of sparkle. It's not as loud as some of the other shimmers I'm used to seeing from her. Consistency-wise, same as the other cream shadows I've used. I haven't noticed if it's stiffer or different or harder to blend. The technique is the same compared to how I apply the rest of them in the past versus today. How to apply these is going to be super key when it comes to making sure that you don't have super harsh lines as you apply these. So I start by putting a little bit onto my finger and massaging it into the lid. I do prime my eyes, that's just default, and I use my Smashbox 24-hour primer with this. I do find that the shadow will crease if I don't set my lid, so I just make sure that I continue to prime even if I'm using this cream shadow versus other powder shadows. You want to get a denser brush for this next step. I'm using the BK Beauty 207. You can see it's quite dense and short-haired, and you're just going to go over the edge a little bit and just massage it out, because no doubt you're going to have some pigment-heavy spots and some that are a bit thinner, so just make sure you even that out with this first dense brush. Charlotte Tilbury does suggest you use one of her brushes. The eye blender brush, but it is very similar to something like this where it's denser and a little bit more compact. That's basically what she suggests to apply it so you have a bit more control. I like to use my finger first just to get the first layer, and I'm very careful around the edging because if you're too stark with the edge, it's going to be even harder to blend and feather outward. What I do next is I just take my powder. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. And I use a fluffy brush. This is the Wayne Goss number 17, and I go over with the powder until it looks feathered and blended out, a little bit more diffused along the edging. They're very creamy, but they have such a pigmentation behind them that it's very easy to make it look like you've got very harsh edging. I think it's especially true for Walk of No Shame because it's such a deep shade next to my lighter skin. So I found as I was working with both of them, and you can see in these clips here, the Walk of No Shame shows more of a line really quickly, and that's simply because the shade is so deep. Walk of No Shame is described as an easy-to-use, long-lasting russet rose cream shadow with a golden peach sparkle. I didn't notice the sparkle as much on the Walk of No Shame. I see the sparkle a little bit more in the Pillow Talk shade. I don't see the sparkle as easily in this shade, and it could just be maybe it's a little bit lighter blending into the pigment a little bit because the rose gold against the pink sort of shows itself a little bit easier in my opinion. But we do have the golden peach shimmer supposedly in the Walk of No Shame shade. It's just hidden a little bit. Same steps to apply the Walk of No Shame. I felt that they were very consistent in formula between the two, very consistent with the rest of the line as well. So when it comes to applying them, try my tips next time if you do have any issues with it looking quite stark. Maybe that will help you out with applying them, and then you'll actually feel more confident using them on a regular basis. Looking online for the price of these, all of them are available on Charlotte Tilbury's website right now, and they're all the same price. So the permanent line versus these two new shades are $32 American each, or 36 Canadian dollars. Both these new shades are supposedly permanent, so that's also good to know. But let me know your thoughts on these products. Personally, I do think they're consistent with the rest of the cream shadows from this line. So if you are interested in picking one up, it's going to be the same experience, the same consistency and quality. So not to worry about that. I'm glad that she released them, although she releases a lot of pink. So hopefully she'll expand the line to include a couple other shades besides pink. But pink, I guess, is a best-selling shade, so it's probably why she did that. Until my next one, guys, take care and stay safe. Bye, guys.